Hello and welcome to Hollywood Headlines. I'm your host, Kamari Clark, and on tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about the latest news in Hollywood, starting with the Moana 2's success at the box office. Hollywood Headlines starts right now. Before we get into today's episode, I would like to take a moment to thank Brianna McHugh for being today's guest. Moana 2 made waves in theaters over the Thanksgiving holiday. Moana 2 released on November 27th and tells the continuing story of Moana as she receives an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors and must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. Moana 2 sees Alihi Cravalho return as Moana and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson return as Maui. Moana 2 brought in $225.4 million in the box office over the 5-day Thanksgiving weekend and has the biggest Thanksgiving gross in cinema history and biggest post-Thanksgiving Day haul as well. Great. Have you gotten a chance to see Moana 2 in theaters yet?
Don't hate me, I have not.
It's okay.
I also haven't seen the first Moana.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second, but, and don't even laugh at me, I saw the first one for my 16th birthday.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, not 16th. I totally lied. 15th birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
Came out when we were in middle school.
14th birthday. All I remember is that I made all my friends come over. It was like this big sleepover.
Yeah.
And we watched Moana 2.
And I wasn't invited.
Dang. If only I had known you, you would have been invited.
Yeah. And then I would have seen Moana.
It was projected on the back of my house.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And I was too old. I was too old to be watching
Moana.
Might have been 15, 14.
That's kind of how I felt.
16.
That's why I haven't seen it. I feel like I missed the time to watch it, and now I'm too old to watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Moana.
Okay.
But I also love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So
which is a hot take.
It is.
What do you like about him?
I don't know. Every movie he's ever been in has been terrible, but I love it.
You're right.
I love to watch him be bad in every movie, like Black Adam.
I didn't see it.
Fire movie.
The Jumanjis,
terrible.
the remakes?
The Jumanjis,
I've seen them
fire movies. Terrible.
Yeah.
But they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, even though he's not in it, he's voice acting,
yeah,
I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
I am. Do you think they will end up making a third movie for Moana?
Probably. I mean, since the second one's doing well, they're making a live action.
I don't think they should.
I don't think that they should have been making a live action either.
And I would agree. I also did hear some controversy on the music because they did not get Lin-Manuel Miranda to do the second movie. They got the girls who made the Bridgerton TikTok musical to do the soundtrack for Moana 2, and people are not loving it. They're saying this sounds terrible.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yes. Bear and Barlow and Bear.
Yeah.
I believe. What are the others? Thoughts on that?
That's
Final
crazy.
Thoughts? That's crazy. And that's how I feel. My favorite redheaded wizard just lost a pretty lengthy legal battle. Rupert Grint, best known for his portrayal of Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter series, has lost a tax battle for incorrectly classifying his earnings as capital assets instead of income. Grint has been ordered to pay €1.8 million, equivalent to $2.3 million US, after losing the legal battle with the UK's HM Revenue and Customs. The tax collection agency claims that Grint, quote, wrongly classified £4.5 million in residuals from the Harry Potter movies. Additionally, Grint has misclassified payments from DVD sales, television, and streaming rights. However, Grint is reported to have made a significant amount of earnings from the films, including around $15 million for each Deathly Hallows film alone. After the tax bill is paid, Grant's overall financial management and career will be secured. Great. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
I would say, yes. I haven't seen all the movies, but I do like them.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm a super fan. You know this.
Okay, yeah.
I love Harry Potter. I watch them every day. I watched one a couple days ago.
Every day.
Every day.
Fall asleep.
Those 3-hour movies I watch every day.
Yeah.
I love them.
I've seen like the first 4, I think.
Okay. That's fine.
Never got around to
I
it.
guess. I feel like you would be a Slytherin. I'm a Hufflepuff,
Definitely.
of course.
I think I'm definitely Slytherin and you're Hufflepuff.
Of course. What do you think about this amount of money he has to pay? It's a good amount.
I mean, it is a good amount, but isn't it like his fault?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like this could have been avoided if you just like paid your taxes.
I agree.
It's
He
like,
classified them very incorrectly and has not been paying how much he should. However, he made $15 million off of one movie.
yeah.
And he's only
Like,
paying
he was set for life from the Harry
Right.
Potter movies.
for life.
And he still is. I'm sure he's making royalties.
Oh, certainly.
So, like, I don't know, just pay your taxes. It's the same thing that happened with, like, Shakira.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand, like, celebrities not paying their taxes.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. You make so much money from these,
Yeah.
and then you get into some legal troubles.
Mm-hmm.
When we get back from the break, we'll be talking about a recent incident at a Kacey Musgraves concert. Hollywood Headlines will be right back. Kacey Musgraves recently called out an aggressive fan who grabbed her during a performance in Tampa. The artist shared clips of the incident on her Instagram story, writing, quote, "This is not okay, and they're lucky that I didn't instinctively swing," end quote. Musgraves was performing the song Lonely Millionaire when she approached the barricade and a fan reached over and grabbed her arm. Musgraves continued to address the incident on Instagram by saying, quote, "Just because an artist or any human is within reach, you have zero right to treat them like an object. This was aggressive, was dealt with, and will not be tolerated at my shows," end quote. Bree, did you know about this?
I didn't before I heard we were talking about it, so I looked it up. It's an interesting conversation that's happening a lot in the entertainment industry right now with like Chappell Roan saying
Yes,
stuff too.
that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, and I completely agree that like you don't have a right to touch anyone or hug anyone. Like they're well within their right to say no. However, in the nicest possible way, when I watched the video, I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Was it?
I don't know, like it like not to be like to downplay like what happened, but it like she did get pulled a little bit, but it like I don't know, it seemed like an accident, and then she like made this long statement at her next show that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just the way she was like, I don't know. It was
Yeah.
I think it was blown out of proportion.
Okay.
Because like why would you pay so much money to go to someone's show that you like are a fan of and then like assault them?
Right.
I don't know. It looked like an accident, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like terrible boy bands get just like ripped to shreds on stage, and I haven't seen the video myself, so I don't know what happened. But it seems like something that definitely needs to be talked about. You know, don't touch artists while they're on stage.
Well, she was like off stage. She was walking by like the people in the front.
Right.
She had a security guard in front of her, and like you know how normally when they like do that, like they're like high-fiving fans.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing that. So she like the person reached out and like grabbed her arm more than she grabbed her hair, and then she turned around and she said like, "What the f?" and then walked away, and then the next show later she said this Tampa B said something. She's like, "I'm gonna have to get real East Texas on her. Someone's gonna have to hold my earrings or something like that," and that part rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Right, not a great response. It
and
could
to
have
say
been
that
kept.
at your next show in front of all your fans, let it go.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Nice possible way, not to downplay it though. Like, don't touch people without their consent.
Kacey Musgraves, we hope your next show is free from arm grabs. The Creep franchise is back, and this time it is a series. Creep follows Joseph, a serial killer played by Mark Duplass, as he lures unexpected victims with the promise of a paid job to document his last wishes. The Blumhouse movie was successful enough to get a sequel with the promise of a third movie back in 2018. With COVID, the production fell through, and creators Patrick Brice and Duplass decided to move their project to Shudder. The franchise is back as a 6-episode series that digs through a video closet of Duplass's character and his sinister skills. As with the Creep films, the 6 episodes are directed by Brice and have a found footage horror aesthetic. As it turns out, the concept of a serial killer killing people in a serial series is perfect for horror fans, because that way you get 6 kills in 2 hours instead of just 1. Great. Have you seen Creep?
I have.
We watched it together.
We did.
With producer Sarah Dutton. It was a great night.
Yeah, and I loved it.
And I loved it. Well, and I kind of hated it.
Did you? I thought you liked it.
Well, so Hollywood headlines. My friends Bree and Sarah were laughing at me a lot because I felt so terrible for Joseph. I was tricked.
Yeah, because the entire time we're like, oh, he's such a nice guy.
And I'm an empath. And I'm an empath.
He lured him there to kill him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, would you film another grown man's tubby time?
Well, if I thought he had cancer, maybe. Maybe.
I wouldn't. You would have to pay me way more than $1,000 to do that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, don't quote me on it. I probably would have fallen for it. I probably would have been just like the main character, and I would have went there. I would have recorded him, and it would have been really terrible for me. I would have ended up,
Yeah. Understandable.
But what did you rate it?
I don't know. I love that movie because I love found footage, so I gave it, I think, like a 3 or 4. The second one is worse than the first one.
Okay.
Which you haven't seen, but
I haven't seen.
that one makes me more uncomfortable. I don't know.
I probably won't be seeing it after that first run. Do you plan on watching the series?
Well, I already have.
What?
Yeah.
It came out already.
The first 4 or 5 episodes are out right now.
Okay. No invite.
Yeah, you're right.
Didn't invite me to watch it.
You didn't like the first one.
I didn't.
I really only watched it. I'm going to be real honest. The 4th episode has an actor named Josh Rubin in it. And he's the only reason I watched 1 through 3, so I could get to 4 to watch it for him.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked it, though. Is it like a different person in each episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know how like the first movie focuses on, it's Joseph, and I think his name was Aaron. He was the videographer.
Right.
So the tapes are like his kills. So it's the other people that he had hired to film stuff.
Got it.
And episode 3, he's like in a field with this guy who's looking for birds. Loser. And then he like basically gives him like a desperate plea. He was like, you can either go over there and choose the flashy bird or stay with like the like something bird. And I was like, you sound so desperate right now. Like, it's so cringe. However, I enjoyed it. And they're 23 minutes. They're not long.
Oh, that's quick. Quick series that I will not be watching.
You should.
Right. When we get back from the break, we'll be sharing our crew Spotify Wrapped from this year. Hollywood Headlines will be right back. Welcome back. 2024's Spotify Wrapped has finally been released to the public, and with it came lots of varying opinions. I'm going to toss it over to one of our correspondents, Kevin, who got a sense of how our Hollywood Headlines crew thought about their Spotify Wrapped.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Lynch from Hollywood Headlines, and I'm going to be asking our Hollywood Headlines crew what their top artist from their Spotify Wrapped was and how they felt about Spotify Wrapped overall this year. So follow me and let's find out. Spotify Wrapped this year.
It was Norbert Leo, but you might be wondering why I'm sounding so upset about it. I'm really not. He was the main guy from Big Fish, which is the show that we did last year. And I was in it, so I listened to a lot of Big Fish. So that's why he's my top artist, somehow.
And what did you think of your Spotify Wrapped overall?
I wasn't surprised. I knew it was gonna be all Big Fish or all theater, but I need normal people music in there.
It's true.
So my top artist this year was ABBA. No surprise there. I listened to that a lot over the summer.
And how do you feel about your Spotify Wrapped overall?
I wanted there to be more ABBA in it. The only ABBA song in my top 5 was Does Your Mother Know, which is a banger. Everybody should go listen to that song.
Not shockingly, it was Taylor Swift. And my thoughts on Spotify Wrapped, I thought mine was relatively accurate, at least for my artists. My songs I was slightly shocked by. I was like, oh, I didn't think I listened to that much Tate McRae this year, but apparently I had 3 Tate McRae songs in my top 5, and then the other 2 were Taylor Swift, which checks. But I knew I listened to a good bit of Tate McRae, but not enough to put her all the way at the top. Like, I would have thought, honestly, would have been like Charlie XCX, or like literally so many other people that I listened to this year. Like, I can't even explain. But that's my thoughts on Spotify Wrapped. I thought it was not that great this year. I thought that the build-up was not worth the hype. That's it.
My top artist this year was Childish Gambino. Not a surprise.
There you go. And how do you feel about your Spotify Wrapped overall?
Mine, it was fine, but Spotify Wrapped in general, I think they could have done better. It wasn't, what's the thing? They didn't have the cities, they didn't have the aura, which I liked. They always do something a little special every year. This year was boring. I was a little disappointed.
My top artist was Lana Del Rey. I was in top 0.05% of listeners.
Oh, wow.
0.05% of listeners. And I feel like my Spotify Wrapped, I think that was correct, but I think like most of the top songs and top artists were all just from like the beginning half of the year.
So my top artist was DPR Ian. Not a lot of people have heard of him, but I love him to bits. This is the 3rd year that he's my top artist, so I'm practically like keeping his lights on at this point.
There you go. And how do you feel about Spotify Wrapped overall?
Honestly, personally, for like what mine was, I wasn't surprised because I kind of like know every year that I'm going to have DPR Ian at the top because he's my husband. But other than that, like the overuse of AI and things, like we already talked about how like it was gonna take over on things, and I feel like the reason why Spotify was delayed so much is they were trying to push the AI agenda for this, and because of the like AI podcast summarizing essentially what you were already seeing in your Wrapped. Dude, we're gonna like eradicate like an entire ocean with how much energy we're using for a stupid summary.
My top artist was Charlie XCX, and I can't say I'm really surprised. I was a little surprised because I thought it was gonna be Fiona Apple because she is my favorite artist and I usually listen to her a lot. But Brat Summer was very real for me, and I listened to Brat front to back when I would drive to work all the time.
So true. And how do you feel about your Spotify Wrapped in general?
In general, like I'm okay with my stats, but like it was really boring and short this year, and for the amount that they hyped it up, like I was expecting it to like be really extravagant and do different things, but it was just kind of like basic, and it was over really fast, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. So I'm a little disappointed, but personally I'm okay with what I got.
And to close this out, my top artist from my Spotify Wrapped this year was obviously Coldplay. I'm such a big fan of Coldplay. I love them so much. So yeah, makes sense why they're my top artist. And yeah, thanks for following along, and back to you guys in the studio.
Well, that's all we have for tonight's episode, but make sure to come back next semester for the latest news in Hollywood. A big thank you to Brianna McHugh for coming on today's show. I'm Kamara Clark. Have a great winter break, Millersville.